40 or 50 years ago.
All of my adult life.
For at least the last, say 20 years, this has been, maybe 25, this has been my only church.
Since I was born, my father was also a parishioner since he was a child, and my grandparents and great-grandparents also attended St. Philip's.
This is our 20th year as parishioners.
10 years.
Graduated from 6th grade in 1986.
I've been at St. Philip's School for 29 years.
16 years.
Since we were married, which is about 5 years ago.
I've been at St. Philip's for just over 3 years now.
33 years. I'm the only original.
2 years.
1.
The pastor who was here when we first arrived was an extremely conservative person, and now it's become much more liberal, much more open.
When we first came, we had no family, we had no friends. We had just moved here, and Art and I were looking for a church home. I was pregnant with my oldest child, and so when we came, we felt immediately that we loved the place, but we didn't necessarily belong. It wasn't our community yet. And 20 years later, it's our home, it's our life. It's still, I would say to most people, 90% of the people and the things I do are with people from St. Philip's.
Women had to have their heads covered, and that's long since no longer the case.
I was one of the few Hispanics, I think, that was attending here.
When we first started, the classrooms were very small. In fact, Mrs. Buca's class, I had 1/3 of that room. Now the classes are bigger, and we have new facilities. We have the computer, the smart board.
It's become much more vigorous academically.
There was maybe 7, 8 kids per class, and the school was just building up to, you think that's funny? The school was just building up to add new grades every year.
We were at one friend's house, and we were on the second floor of his house on the balcony off his bedroom, and we were launching water balloons at every car that passed on Hardy Road. And my mother made me come home early because I had to acolyte the next morning. And sure enough, as soon as I left, one of the water balloons nailed the windshield of a police car. And all my buddies got busted and had to do community service for a few months. So, point being, if you're actively involved at St. Philip's, you may be able to avoid trouble with the law.
This particular son, he preached the sermon, and he didn't tell me he was going to do it. And so we got here, and he got up and preached the sermon. I said, "How did you prepare?" He said, "I just thought about it while I was taking a shower this morning."
Going to chapel.
As our children from Sunday school come to the communion rail, the majority of them run to the rail with their arms stretched out in front of them, filled with joy and excitement. And I think that moment every week just fills me with a sense of hope for the future of this community and of the church in general.
It's a sad moment, but a happy moment also. And it's a painful one, but a joyous one. Is when I lost my husband, obviously. The vigil that was held for him was the most amazing moment. To feel like if I was at home with my family, the nurturing. People from everywhere turned out to want and did anything and everything that was needed. It's just that they were there. I mean, Nelson's service was more than I could have dreamed. Someone was with him the entire night. I had never seen anything like that. And he was more than honored. He was loved. I was loved. I felt the love. And to come over here at 3 o'clock in the morning to fill the candles and to see people here staying with him, silently praying. No one was conversing. They just wanted to be with him. My St. Philip's family was holding me up.
There's a great willingness to help one another. The pastor, every Sunday, she commissions somebody and conveys to them the case that contains the sacrament, and charges them with the responsibility of taking it to the people who can't be here.
Both of my sons were baptized here at St. Philip's. They were both acolytes, and I think St. Philip's gave them a really firm foundation for their religious continuation in life.
And here at St. Philip's, it's the spirituality piece that makes the difference.
In the other places, we just went to church and we left, and we didn't interact with other people. We didn't really participate. We feel like a family here, as opposed to just a parishioner or just an attendee. So
we kind of feel at home here.
Well, St. Philip's has been strengthened my faith in a couple of ways. One, I was a Roman Catholic. I was raised Roman Catholic, and in the last 5 years became an Episcopalian. And it's been a much more open environment. It's much more accepting.
Coming here only reinforced all the positive things about growing up in a life of faith in that sense. And I wanted to give that to my kids. I wanted them to have a foundation.
My faith, I think, was strengthened when I became a parent, because I'd love for my children to have the same experiences and support system and comforts that the community of St. Philip's has always given me.
We enjoy giving back to our community, to the different people in need. We feel that that has enabled us to live our faith.
At St. Philip's, the doors are open, and if you want to participate, you can. And faith, for me, it's about living it.
I can't believe it's 30 years ago that I left the school. But no, it's great. It's very, very, very fun that I got to send my kids here too at the same time.
Fernando was very serious, as was Eduardo. They were both in the same class, and they wanted to have their work done correctly, perfectly, doing the right thing at the right time. Their children, I think, are more relaxed about it, I guess. They can laugh, they can be silly, they can be goofy. They're not quite as serious as their daddies were.
You know, from this from this little place. No, that's the microphone. All right, we're gonna have to cut and do it again, Leo. One of the things that she taught us was, I think it was the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. And then when my daughter learned it again now last year, you know, the coming around full circle was, you know, something really that we could treasure together.
I think each child has a potential, and I think the thing that's the same is the parents want the best for their child, so they send them to St. Philip's because they know they get a good education and a spiritual education.
I said a forbidden word in the playground, and the principal at that time, her name was Mrs. Payne. She took me into the office. I don't even know if she asked my mom for permission or not first, and she took me to the bathroom in the office, and she got a bottle of Palmolive and washed my mouth out with soap. Really wanted to see the whole child develop in a good, positive way, even though, you know, we don't really do that anymore to kids.
It's a very good school.
I would hope that it would grow more.
It's a cathedral with 10,000 parishioners and a staff of 22 priests.
I'd like to have it start maybe about 15 minutes a little later.
More of our school families attending church, because I think that we have so much to offer them.
I would like for St. Philip's not to have any debt.
I would like to see St. Philip's in the future continue to be the wonderful place that it is for children, for all who come here seeking God, to continue to reach out to our neighbors. It would be so easy here in beautiful Coral Gables to just look at the pretty trees and think everything is good in the world. But we know not too far from here, there are people who go without food or shelter or love. And I would like us to continue our commitment to outreach and to care for those in need, even though we are so blessed in this community. I would like St. Philip's to continue to invite people in to learn the love of God and to know the love of God through this community. I think we have something really wonderful to offer here. And when people come and worship with us and see our life, when families bring their children to school here, they know that something special happens here. Happy anniversary, St. Philip's, for 70 wonderful years for the parish, 60 wonderful years for the school, and here's to many, many more.